Well, it was built in the 1850s. Well, the hotel was originally built as part of the Trans-Canada Railroad system being developed, stopover points along the way. An idea of about 30 miles. That would be a day's travel by railroad. And they were stopover points for the different railway travelers that could spend the night. I think it was called the Stewart Hotel in its time. And it changed to the McGibbon, I think in the early 1900s when the McGibbon family owned it.
We had our first gay wedding in Georgetown here. People booked the room for a wedding. Turned out to be a gay wedding.
My brother George and I purchased the hotel in 1978 with the reason being that we thought it was a marvelous little town and it was close to where we were living at the time. We grew to really enjoy living here, so we both moved into the area and we've been here ever since. We first took over the first few years. There was a lot of movies made here and there was quite a few people like Orson Welles and the Carradine group came in here with that Kung Fu group with Chris Potter and the rest of them. They used to come in fairly regularly. After 38 years, I think erosion started setting in on our age, and we decided we couldn't operate any longer. And it was time to retire. We're both in our 70s, so it's not a case of going on to other endeavors. We decided just to call it quits.
Don Jackson, can I help you? SilverCreek's got a long history, over 30 years, of being a commercial constructor. We take old buildings, retrofit them to have mixed use, bring new life to them, where there'd be retail on the bottom, and we'd build residential above it in the form of condos. We were sitting literally across from the McGibbon at a restaurant, looking out the window and staring at the McGibbon. That building's going to fall down one day. Somebody needs to do something with it. And he says, you know, like maybe a condo. I turned over my shoulder, looked at the building and said, you're right, it's a condo. That's what we have to do on this corner.
We understand that there are different viewpoints and opinions on this proposal, and I would ask that people be respectful to one another.
There's a number of, if you want to call them groups, that are looking at this through different eyes. The BIA and people who own buildings downtown, that's another stakeholder. So I see that they have a view for perhaps this would bring more people to town or to the downtown to shop and eat and whatever else.
It's going to take away the historic downtown. We can't really call it historic downtown with glass high-rises.
What I have found over the years is that the downtown has to reinvent itself about every 10 years. As markets change and new challenges arise.
It takes into consideration all those different needs and opinions. So it's a tough, this is a tough one. It's a very prominent site and there's a lot of emotion involved.
Now we have an 11, 12-story building, elimination of 4 heritage buildings, when originally it was going to be 1 heritage building and the retention of the McGibbon and 8 floors. I supported that. Now I do not support this.
There's been lots of commentary about the height, and the interesting thing is, while we can appreciate people have concerns, you always get concerns when change is introduced. Hey, Nick.
It's something that I think would help the downtown core to sustain itself. We're very happy with what we think is the end result of the building. We went through actually 3 generations of Georgetowners in this time we were here. From the father, the son of the father, and the son of the son are quite a part of our lives, these people are. And you know, it's been a pleasure to know a lot of them. History to me is important as long as someone remembers it and as long as people live. Historical value is something that you remember rather than some physical thing.